Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Muterspaugh, and the title of my presentation is Modernizing Environmental Education, Integrating Telemetry Data into Academic Practices. Starting off, as we all know, climate change is a rapidly worsening issue that is requiring us to find modern-day mitigation solutions in order to properly lessen these impacts. However, I discovered that telemetry data can actually be a promising innovation for informing future conservation decisions, finding solutions for mitigation, and educating new generations with real-time data. For context, telemetry data is a form of satellite tracking data that helps to inform both scientists and the general public on animal populations, their migration patterns, where they typically reside, as well as climatic conditions. So it's a great tool for data visualization in summary. However, a problem that I did encounter with this is that a lot of people actually don't know what telemetry data is, and how useful of a tool that it can be. So because of this, I sought to determine if incorporating this data into environmental education would be beneficial for educating K through 12 students about the environment, as well as helping us to find potential solutions for reducing anthropogenic harm. And this leads into my research question: what are the opportunities and challenges of integrating telemetry data into K through 12 environmental education practices? Starting with my internship, I worked with NOAA's Animal Telemetry Network, or the ATN, as an education and outreach intern. And our primary goal during this time was to figure out how to make telemetry data and the ATN in particular more accessible to younger demographics and students. And because of this led us into developing a virtual independent lesson plan, which would introduce 9th through 12th graders to the ATN site and telemetry data in general. If you see this figure below, this is a visual aid that we used in the lesson plan, which helped to inform the younger students about how telemetry data works, how it's distributed, how it's received, and what it can be used to find out. Moving on to my methods, with this virtual lesson plan, we specifically focused on a telemetry data archive that researched the behaviors of blue and fin whales residing in the West Coast. And this was found on the ATN in their data archives. After this, I determined which of the next generation science standards would align with its content, and this helped to ensure that the lesson plan could be effectively utilized in classrooms. And then finally, I conducted 7 oral interviews with telemetry data experts to hear their thoughts on incorporating this data into academic sectors. Moving on to my second figure below, this is a geographic visualization of basically where the blue and fin whales prefer to reside. If you see the different colored hexagons, blue means that there are less whales in that area, and red means that there are more. And this was one of the results of the activities of the lesson plan, which basically helped to teach students how to use the ATN and really visualize these populations. Um, and then moving on to my final figure, this is a scatter plot graph, which was also integrated into our lesson plan. And this was also one of the results that the students found when they followed the instructions on our lesson plan. And this allowed them to use the data in a way that visualized it via a graph rather than a geographic visualization on a map. And it helped us to find a potential correlation between blue and fin whales' lengths and their average dive depths. So basically, we were trying to figure out if longer whales dive deeper or not. So that was really useful and helpful to see. Finally, for my results, I determined the opportunities and challenges that come with this practice, and I discovered that incorporating telemetry data into education can, number 1, enhance place-based learning practices, number 2, increase its accessibility to citizen scientists and students of all ages, and number 3, play a key role in developing a more holistic viewpoint on climate change and anthropogenic harm. For context, place-based learning practices are, in summary, teaching students about the environment by using their local landscape. So teaching them about what is happening basically right in their backyard, and telemetry data can visualize this for them. However, my main challenge that I discovered was that properly integrating telemetry data into the academic sector would be making this material engaging for younger demographics, i.e. elementary and middle school students. And this leads into my final implications. of my project, which is that educators should include telemetry data and other forms of data visualization into their education practices, as it will aid students in seeing how climate change is truly altering our environment. It is an incredibly important data visualization tool that can really help to emphasize the urgency of these climate change issues and help inspire us to take action. My second main point was that for now, in the present day, if telemetry data is to be integrated into academic sectors, these practices should likely be catered toward older students, i.e. high schoolers, as they have the highest chance of retaining this information. Just because of the way that science education works now, high school students typically have more experience in things like graphs, maps, things like that, and this is likely the best idea to integrate telemetry data into this class of students as they will understand it the best. And then my final point is that place-based learning practices are proven to promote values of environmental stewardship, and telemetry data can play a significant role in the advancement of these methods. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions about my capstone, feel free to email me at edavis7@uw.edu. That is EDAVIS7@uw.edu. And thank you so much for listening.